This topic. Hi, this is Robert Cornicelli, National President for Veterans for America First. Our organization is dedicated to electing veterans, first responders into Congress, into the Senate, into the White House, into governor's offices, into the state and the House of Representatives at the state level, down to sheriffs and county executives. Because veterans and law enforcement are a demographic that are always pushed to the side. Bills are never really drafted to help these demographics. Most of the time, when a bill is drafted to solely help, let's say, veterans, some congressperson from the Midwest is going to say, well, I'll vote for that if you put subsidies on that bill for my farmers. You can never really get a bill passed that help veterans. Just clean bills that help protect our law enforcement officers. But here we have a candidate running for Congress in California's 13th congressional district. Vin, I'm going to say your name. It's Indian. It's Vinay.
Yes, Vinay. Yeah,
Kruttiventi.
Kruttiventi.
I thought it was Italian when I first looked you up. I've spoken to Vin now, and I believe he's one of these guys who understand these two demographics, veterans and law enforcement officers, and how we need to stop playing around and get them the care and the protections that they need because it's vital. Law enforcement officers are working in a very hostile environment nowadays, and we know veterans, we know people in the military, they're always in a hostile environment. So Vin, I'm so happy you're running. California needs you, needs a person who understands these complex issues and understands that to get things done, we need to start categorizing these bills, making them stand alone, and focus on getting things done. So welcome to our little show here. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I really appreciate being on the show. It's an honor to be on the show. My name is Vin Kruttiventi, first generation immigrant who came to this country looking for that American dream with a bag and heart full of hope. And this country gave me everything I have. I've been really lucky to haven't gotten the support across the board to start companies. I was able to generate hundreds of jobs. And now I'm running for Congress to make sure the opportunity that I had can be preserved for our future generations. California has the highest number of veterans in the country, but at the same time, we have the highest veteran homelessness. Everyone talks a big game, but nobody is really fixing the real issue. I'm here, standing here, and I want to fight for our veterans. Not just in terms of the main issues like homelessness, but there are real issues that could be tackled, like making TRICARE for life permanent. The HALO Act that you and I talked about should be a no-brainer across the country. And we have to create federal incentives for veteran-owned businesses as well, so that the guys that actually made this country safer, we show them that we care for them. And it's our duty to make sure we protect our veterans.
I'm glad you said that because I have a 501c3 called Veteran Recovery Coalition, and I was an infantry officer in the military. My last 4 years, I did intel work at the DIA under General Flynn, so I was more in an agency. But two things you touched on, helping veteran businesses. I also have a SDVOB, a Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Business. I've had it since 2019. I haven't bid on one contract. Why? It was so easy to open the business and get all my certifications from the SBA and the VA to be an official SDVOB, Service Disabled Veteran Owned Business, but I know nothing about business. So I could bid on a contract, but when they send you that packet of information to fill out on how to project payroll and how many people you're going to have, it's impossible. If I say I want to get involved in demolition,
Mhm.
and I like it, I have no clue how to bid on a contract and project out to bid. I've been honestly, I've been trying this since 2019. And I get so frustrated as I'm going through the website that I just say I'm done. And the other, even with my veteran group, I probably raised over 350,000 in the last decade, and I might have 10,000 left. There's not a dime in overhead. Nothing. Everything goes to veterans. We feed, clothe, repair cars, repair houses. I think we must have helped 3,000 veterans in a decade. And I just had that SDV, my veteran group entered into the SAM.gov system so I can get federal grants. I went on a federal grant website. It's another language in some way, and you get frustrated. So when you bring up something like that, you just touch the heart of 100% service connected disabled veteran. Because yeah, the government has made strides in giving these opportunities, but the opportunity is there. But there's a gap between the opportunity being presented and the opportunity being obtained.
Yeah,
I'm so happy you said that, because if you could come up with a way that SDVOBs and veteran-owned businesses can bid on a contract, and then somebody within the government says, okay, we're going to help you um, prepare yourself to start on day one.
yeah,
My God, you'd have thousands of veterans in the workforce.
100%. And not just that, right? We need to enable, train, and make sure that all of the veterans who start the businesses are able to do so day one, as you rightly said, right? What does marketing look like? What does HR functions and then things that go in HR and compliance look like? What does your operations look like? Whichever is the thing. And then what are the tax and legal implications that you need to take care of, right? And example, in a lot of states, when you try to start a business, you sign your lease and then you wait, right? I mean, for all of these, I would say the red tape um, to actually be passed, it's a year before you can start your business. So you're actually paying your lease. You probably put all of your life savings into that business, and then you're just waiting for all of these regulations to be passed and red tape to be taken out of the way. We need to eliminate that red tape, make sure that there is a set window upon which like people are able to start their businesses. Else, whoever is withholding those permits have to start paying the business owners so that they are really making money and not wasting all of their life savings into one. Not being able to start the business is one thing, but when you start the business, it takes few months for it to ramp up. So by the time you're in a big hole, right? So we got to make sure that the red tape is eliminated, and I will fight for it 100%.
Yeah, veterans are good at accomplishing a mission, but there's never a hole. Very rarely is there a hole like you just mentioned, like that 3 months. If you go on an operation, someone within your company brought food, someone brought ammo, someone brought vehicles, someone is there to maintain a vehicle. So that infantry officer only has to worry about doing his infantry job.
Mhm.
These other things, though, you check up on them to make sure that they're there and they're working, or there's in the military, there's always people within a company or a battalion or a brigade who are there to fill those holes. But when you come out and you try to open a business, there are thousands of holes and you can't wrap your head around it because you're so used to saying, I want to knock down that building. I know how to knock down that building, but then there's these permits, there's this insurance, so you're right. And the other thing you brought up two very important things because we spoke about these healthcare for veterans. Veterans who have TRICARE for life, that's what it's called. It doesn't say TRICARE till you're a senior citizen. It says TRICARE for life. You receive these injuries while you're in the service, you're going to be treated for life. But the minute you go on Social Security at 65 or 67, I forget what it is, they switch you to Medicare. So now you have premiums. And you don't want Medicare. I want my TRICARE. I want what I earned. So I'm glad you're fighting for that. And you brought up our baby, the HALO Act, hands off law enforcement. We've been going around the country trying to get this HALO law passed in all 50 states. And Lieutenant Governor Evett from South Carolina had me speak before the Republican Lieutenant Governors Association to get at least the 26 trifecta of Republican states to pass it. But as I'm doing my research, the federal government can create a federal HALO law that tells all 50 states, no, you will protect your law enforcement officers. And anyone who attacks a law enforcement officer, even if it's a county law enforcement officer, is breaking a federal law. The fact that you feel that this HALO law and protecting law enforcement officers is so important is just another reason why, that I haven't said it yet, you have received Veterans for America First national endorsement. Because I know you're a guy who's going to fight for these things that really, when a combat arms member of the service goes out into combat, they're prepared. They've trained, but you can't train for shots being fired at you. So we say in infantry, no plan survives first contact. You could train all you want, but the minute bullets start flying, plans don't always survive. But you're out there in that combat field. You're prepared for the stress. You're a police officer standing in a spot, just cordoning off an area. Maybe it was a car accident, or maybe ICE is doing some sort of operation, and they're just standing there. When people come up into their face and they have the phones there, you're creating a stress and anxiety in a law enforcement officer that you can't train for. Yeah. So all of a sudden, that officer now, a little apprehensive, they're a little standoffish, they're a little worried because you can't reach for your weapon to protect it. Someone's in your face, like 30 people in your face. You can't protect yourself because you can't even get your arms out. So we need to create this buffer zone between the public and law enforcement and first responders. And let me tell you, cell phones can take beautiful video from 25 feet. So you can't say we need to be in there, freedom of, it's my right. So this HALO Act is huge to protect law enforcement officers. And it's a deconfliction bill. It's not just, oh, we're going to protect law enforcement. It's to protect the public.
Yeah.
When you take away that, and when you give that safe space, I said to you earlier, it's like driving behind someone, you have that safe driving space, and then someone cuts right in the center of it. Now you're all mad. And that's where road rage comes from. Yeah. So then it's amazing that a candidate like you is running in California because you get it.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor. It's an honor to get your endorsement. And we will do what is right for our veterans. And we have to fight the fight, not just talk the talk, right? And I'll be there 100% behind our veterans, first responders, law enforcement. It's time that we all got together and do what is right. And if we cannot, as a nation, take care of our veterans, who will? That had to be our first priority. So I'm in this 100%. And on camera, I say, I'm going to fight the fight. I will never back down.
No, I know you won't. Tell me a little bit about your family.
So I've got a beautiful wife, 2 kids. My wife is a nurse. She works in the Valley. And My kids are like soon to be 13 and 9, two beautiful girls. And they love to go campaigning with me. So when we go door knocking, like they're running around and like they try to get to the doors faster than me. So, but it's a blessing. It's a real blessing to have like such a beautiful family. And uh, we are in California, right? So they're not afraid to say in their classroom when asked, like, who do you vote for? They're like President Trump.
Love it.
They love it. Like, they raise their hands. They're like really proud and loud President Trump supporters. We've like, made them aware that all of these great things that are happening in this country, we've got the greatest president in the history of the United States and who puts the country first, who does the right thing, a president of peace. So what else can we ask for, right? We just need somebody in the sense like in a congressman to be standing beside President Trump to support the agenda.
Now you have
And
CPAC's endorsement, right?
yes, I do have a
I
CPAC
love it.
endorsement. Yeah,
Yeah, I went to their conference when I was running in 2021, and it's a sight to see.
yeah, yeah,
Just all those conservatives in the room, and they have the left tries to put the stigma on conservatives that they're not all inclusive, and it's like this white man's club, and it was diverse.
yeah,
And not only was it diverse, there was more talk about bringing people in, helping those in need, but more or less, even like we're talking about on a national level now with the SNAP and welfare and EBT. Nowhere in the Constitution does it state the government has any role in providing welfare, health care, these services. And the 10th Amendment even says if it's not enumerated in the Constitution, it goes to the states. Like these programs belong at the state level. But even at a CPAC conference, there was always talk about how do we help the poor? How do we help people who are handicapped? How do we make sure children who are born into fatherless homes get a better education? And, there was never, ever conversations about, they're poor, who cares about them? Or you're Indian, oh, they're Indians, who cares? They're not really citizens. Like there was never that negativity. It was always like positive, positive. How do we help people? How do we build this country? How do we put, notice the slogan is America first, not America only. It's
yeah.
America first. Then we can
First,
help out the world. But
yeah,
yeah, when I saw you had the CPAC endorsement, I said, I gotta reach out to this guy. This is an America first candidate.
yeah. And like as you rightly said, when you're on a plane, what do they say, right? Put your mask first, then you can help others.
Great. Yeah, I like that one. I'm gonna use that. That's
Yeah,
good words.
yeah.
Yeah,
And we conservatives are all about giving a hand up to people, not a handout. I mean, teach a man how to fish, like not feed him a fish every day. Like, I mean, you empower people to actually fend for themselves. And that's what this country is all about, right? And it is sad to see that instead of prioritizing our people, our veterans, some of these Democrats really fight for illegal aliens and their health care.
do you know there's 34 million veterans living at or below the poverty level?
Yes.
There's 1.5 million veterans. Um, what was my statistics? Can't remember now. But there's 34 million veterans living at or below the poverty level in this country. That right there is a shame.
Yeah. It's a shame. We ought to be like really ashamed of the country that we let our veterans be on the streets.
Yeah. Well, Vin, I wish you the best of luck. You have our full support. I know we're going to do our best job possible getting our information about who you are and what you stand for out to the veteran community, the law enforcement community, the first responder community, and anyone else who will listen, because it's essential you get into Congress. I mean,
Okay.
you're one of the top guys on our list because you're really here to do the right thing. So thank you. Thank you for running. And your children are the same age apart as mine. I ran when they were 9 and 13, and it's a toll on your family.
Yeah.
So tell them thank you so much. We appreciate what they're doing for this country as well.
Thank you. And thank you for your service.
No, thank you. Well, once again, this is Robert Cornicelli, National President for Veterans for America First, and we officially endorse Vin. You have to say the last name because I don't want to screw it up. It's Vin Kruttiventi.
Yes.
I say it the Italian way. Is that how you say it?
So where I come from in India, I speak this mother tongue is Telugu,
Oh,
but they call it the Italian of the East.
oh wow. I wonder if your descendants, I wonder if it was a group of Italians who made their way over.
I don't know, could be.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like an Italian name, but
Yeah.
you officially have our endorsement, and thank you. You deserve it. You earned it.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too.